for TNC.
You know, Sand King can lane quite well against Timbersaw.
That's true.
Very well, actually.
I've heard Caustic Finale is pretty good.
Especially against those melee heroes.
Yeah.
Timbersaw happens to be melee. Quite melee.
So, you and I are kind of scratching our heads with some of these picks for TNC.
I'm just not convinced that this lineup is going to work out because it's very unstable. If you snowball, if you can get these kills early on to pressure the map, yeah, you can blow it wide open. But if you don't really scale that well into the game because your game relies on these early movements.
Yeah.
And it just looks so unreliable when you have Lifestealer, Magic Immunity, Strength Hero, Tanky, hard to take down, Death Prophet, same thing when there's multiple units. The Spirit Siphon comes out, she can tank up, hard to take down.
Cook and boat as well.
Exactly.
Yeah, I have to agree with you about the Virtus.pro. Who knows what'll happen, though.
If there's any team that can make it happen, it might be TNC.
Might be TNC. It might be TNC.
Like how I tricked you there?
Yeah. The bad news, TNC lose this game. You've just lost a game where you were ahead 30K, or rather 28K net worth against VGJ Thunder. You win that game, you move on to the playoffs. Now you're up against Virtus.pro.
That's a tilter. Imagine losing that, then losing the next consecutive game.
And then you're sitting at 2-2, and you don't know who you're going to play next. I'm assuming a very good team.
That's right.
But for Virtus.pro, same could be said for them. They lost Optic the first day. They win 2. They're feeling good about themselves. They lose this next one, and things can change drastically in their chances to get to the playoffs. So one way or the other, this game will be interesting, and I'm excited to see who comes out on top. But early on, TNC will go aggressive with all 5 heroes down into the enemy jungle. They'll drop a deep ward. It is going to block the small camp just to make sure that that pole camp is indeed warded right now for TNC so they can get some extra pressure on the lane.
Yep. It is essentially the 5-position Enchantress with the 4-position Earth Spirit. The reason why this combo isn't that strong is because Earth Spirit's early levels, the 1 and 2, and even level 3, aren't as strong as it once used to be. Like when you see the jungle with the roaming support duo, you think Rubik probably is the most common one through history. Just because the lift into whatever creep has so much synergy. It's a great setup.
Yeah.
Earth Spirit, he's got the roll.
They will get a double Torrent, and now Cuckoo. Open Wounds comes out. They do have a nice double impale. The Nature's Attendants are going. They've got the Thunder Strike. Cuckoo will still get dropped down. Big kill for Solo with the Thunder Strike, and the Nature's Attendants has now been skilled, and that is not going to help TNC in this laning phase. And they might even find more. The TP comes out the Torrent, just missed onto Tim's, but he's able to get away to safety. But TNC, that's kind of disastrous for Cuckoo at this point in the game. That's pretty insane, actually.
Yeah.
Now, because what can he do now?
Well, Monty's going to click him a lot.
Well,
he's throwing those spears, and he might... things could happen.
We'll see. But it is essentially a try versus try at the start of this game for Virtus.pro and TNC. And with that kill, they have a slight advantage already. It's a 1K lead. And they get the matchup they want in the top lane for Virtus.pro as well. It's Pasha with, of course, Caustic Finale coming later against Raven in the solo lane. And against a melee hero, I'm sure Sand King is going to love that.
Yep, it's a great matchup for the Sand King. Once he picks up some levels, he can really pressure Timbersaw. Mid lane, Gyro against DPS, whatever, they farm, but this is the lane to pop
Sam H. Thunder Strike comes in, the Rolling Boulder's too late. Roger is completely fine, he's got boots of speed. Solo's Clarity doesn't even get cancelled, and TNC.
That's value.
This lane, it's pretty bad now. It's not bad enough to break up this tri lane yet, though, Brax.
So, Enchantress desperately needs level 2 to get that enchant, play with the creep.
Where's she gonna get it from? It's an aggressive tri-lane where you're finding this experience. You're splitting it up between 3 heroes.
Exactly. They're just going to have to sit there and leech. It's going to be slow, but it'll happen eventually, right? One more creep and he has the 2.
And
yeah, going to slow down the start just a bit.
I think Virtus.pro are going to love life at the beginning of this game. You know, maybe this Raven Timbersaw does really well in the beginning.
Yeah.
But Pasha should be just fine in getting his own farm and getting back to the game.
You know, typically Timbersaw wants to just sit in the creep wave so you can tank up, stack up the armor, and then just trade hits with the other hero, but you can't do that against the Sand King.
Yeah.
If you're in close, you're going to get hit by the Caustic over and over. But when there's no creeps like this, he's happy.
I suppose that it is good news that you are against the strength hero in Pasha for Raven. It's one of the good things. He's actually doing a lot of damage, in fact. Raven is just trying to bully him out what he can. In the meantime, Cuckoo will find a kill onto Roger down bottom, surprisingly so.
Yeah,
looks like he might have been out of position, trying to maybe pull a camp, try to go for a rune.
That's the tomato creep, big thunderclap.
And now he's got the enchant up, and yeah, the thunderclap coming in. He's actually going to take the smaller Hellbear and get the extra last hit for himself. So, okay, now stabilizing this bottom lane, perhaps.
Yes, stabilizing. because VP will come back with full mana.
Oh, Burrow Strike, Raven getting low. He doesn't have the 10 reactive armor. That is a triple torn, though, and Cuckoo will fall again. Rex is in with the rage and the open moves, and now Tim's trying to find the fight. Roger taunting his way to victory. The rolling boulder. He sidesteps it. Roger was ready, and he's going to get back to his tower, maybe even back to the base to heal up.
Oh, man. That's rough.
That's a good taunt right there, let me tell you.
Roger somehow lands the 3-man torrent without any real setup.
The godlike torrent.
Yep. That's incredible.
Roger and VP feeling good in this bottom lane. The Thunderstrike constantly being spammed by this Disruptor. Might be one of those games where you get like level 2 Thunderstrike, I feel like, because of the laning phase.
Yeah, just more damage. Kill out the squishy Enchantress. But for TNC, this game is just how much pressure can they apply in this lane, because there's no other place they can really go.
I mean, and once the Sand King starts really doing well for Virtus.pro, they're going to lose all 3 lanes. Look at the mid lane matchup. No one has 20 last hits. The Gyrocopter is 10. Armel is down 1 level against no one, and the Crypt Swarms are starting to deal some damage, and no one almost can kill him here in a moment, especially if he gets a rotation. This is, I don't want to call it disastrous, but it's pretty bad for TNC at the start of this game.
Yeah, mid lane not going so well. They're off lane. While they are applying a lot of pressure, Ramses is still basically free farming, and they're getting kills on top of it.
Yeah.
So, I guess, you know, it's still early into the lane phase, right?
But you were mentioning where can these heroes go for TNC? Well, Cuckoo, he might be going to the grave. The kinetic field comes out. The shockwave coming in. It doesn't really do anything. Cuckoo gets the torn from Roger again. Well, of course, the kill will be split, but I don't think it really matters one way or the other. I mean, Cuckoo will still fall. Ramses was there to secure it. And that is a 4th kill for Virtus.pro at the start of this laning phase.
Well, this may sound extremely obvious and stupid, but every time TNC fail to get a kill or pressure this lane, it just gets harder and harder, right? Because that's that much more time where Enchantress is sitting there in the lane, basically playing as a laning support with the creep instead of farming in the jungle to get item, to get some more levels up, right?
And I mean, you said it. Where do they go? Armel almost going to get torrented, but he just sidesteps it around the other side of the tower. Luckily enough, had he got hit by that torrent, he probably dies to a Crypt Swarm or something. So, but the Enchantress Cuckoo is dropping deep wards and going all the way around, maybe just trying to jungle at this point, because I don't think you can do anything else, really. I don't know. I mean, they're about to spot him, actually. They see that the Wild Wing is over here. There's the Hellbear. It'll get off the Thunderclap slow. Solo's going to come up with the Thunderstrike. They do have
manning up.
Interesting Tannins. They've got the X-Marks torrent combination coming in, but Solo's getting really low. He has 2 stick charges, but the Rolling Boulder comes in, and they might actually find the skill. The sticks are there. The Thunderclap comes out. They don't even really need it. It's Tim's that gets the job done. Now they're turning onto Roger. Tim's getting low, but they won't be able to bring this Kunkka down. That's a nice little play. It's a support getting dropped. It's not the end of the world for Virtus.pro, but TNC finally getting back on the board.
Yep, and maybe they can make something happen mid lane with a potential rotation, but I don't think it's going to happen when no one's sitting on such high health and Armel's not. What are they going to do? Come and gank with a or for 150 health Gyrocopter and hope they can kill him?
I mean, it's feeling like they got to try something. They will rotate Tim's around. He's level 3 now. The top lane matchup is pretty even still. Raven's still getting a lot out of this, and that's good news. But again, it's not like he's stopping Pasha at this point in the game.
All right, both heroes are getting exactly what they want. Pasha's going to have a super early Blink Dagger if he chooses to go for that.
One way they could annoy the mid lane, throw up the Wild Wing, give him the dance. The tornado damage onto no one will be a little bit frustrating. Tim's is invis also.
Yeah.
There's a lot of heroes here for Virtus.pro. We'll see who gets the initiation.
The
homing missile is coming in. Roger is there. The rolling bolt. They want this kill. They've got the rocket barrage. It's going to be close. Then one will fall. They've got the kinetic field. The epicenter getting channeled. Pasha is in. They'll find Cuckoo and maybe Armel. And yes, they will even find a third. The glimpse back is there onto Tim's. Going to be a 2-for-1 trade, maybe a 3-for-1 if they can find this Burst Strike. Tim's is trying to juke through, but the Burst Strike will find him. They've got the Torrent follow-up as well. The Thunderstrike coming out. This should be more than enough damage. The Fairy Fire comes in. The Rolling Boulder is blocked by Roger. What a play. And Tim's will get dropped down on top of it. VP will find 3. Yes, they lose their Death Prophet. They are not really concerned about that, let me tell you.
Yep, well played from no one. So you're keeping the spirits high. They know that they're doing very well. 2k gold in 7 minutes. It's pretty difficult to come back from, but TNC, they need levels desperately, right? Tim's level 3 on his Earth Spirit. Well, you know, it's pretty normal to be level 3 at this time of the game on a 4-position hero. It's just they need more. They can't really make any moves just because, you know, top lane is static. Mid lane is difficult for TNC to gank just because of the advantage Death Prophet has over the gyrocopter.
Oh, Tim's has been caught with a glimpse. Actually, it was the X marks coming out. The glimpse is still available. Kinetic field actually only goes on to Cuckoo, and now Tim's is going to try to turn this, but Ramses is coming in it. Surprisingly enough, he's still here. Go back to farming down bottom. Tim's, they'll drop a ward down. They've got the ensnare onto Roger. That will come, but where's the follow-up damage? There's one auto attack, and that's it.
Yep, just tell him to back off.
The Sand King just bought a full veil. He has to burrow quick away from Raven, who had the Chakram. Now the Timber Chain. Raven's still chasing him down, and Pasha actually in trouble here. Raven has a full hood of Defiance. This could be big if he could find this kill onto Pasha. The Chakram coming in, but Pasha is able to snag the bounty and get out. Looks like he will fall, though. Raven's able to track him down with the Timber Chain, along with a couple of other abilities being used down bottom. They're looking for more. The Torrent comes in. That will be Sam H getting dropped. One more auto attack. The Ensnare will not save his life, and Ramses will back up and away. They have the Hurl Boulder coming in from the Mud Golem, but that's not going to do enough damage to get the kill. So 1-1 across the board for both teams.
Pretty big solo kill. He buys out the Veil, so he doesn't lose any gold. Interesting. Goes to the Veil instead of the Blink. I like that he buys a different item rather than the Blink, because with such a good start, you don't really want to play like that Blink Initiator starting from the 10-minute mark, which means because you would stop your progression. You wouldn't be farming a lane, because you want to be running around with that Blink Dagger. While it is important, it's also very important to play more like a core. Up in the face, push out these lanes, and Veil makes you a bit stronger.
You can see he wanted to be active already. I mean, he just TP'd in mid with smoke. He didn't find anything with it, but he tried for Pasha. So the Veil goes unused. He'll just waddle his way back to the top lane. And all this while, Ramses is free farming. He's not quite at the level that Pasha and the Timbersaw are at, but he's still having a great old time on Ramses' Lifestealer.
Yep, free farm for all 3 cores from VP.
Alright, what are we looking at in terms of the supports? So the Enchantress, as expected, is pretty poor.
Oh no. Just some sandals and a stick.
Now she's not really happy for Cuckoo. Armel up to boots of speed and an Aquila, but he is about 1,000 behind No One. And No One's doing okay. He's not getting free farm, but he is he has been taken down once. Meanwhile, they will get the kill on the Courier. The Radiant Courier will fall. Jungle. I think Sam H came in with a Vendetta, and that's what did it. So that is at least something for TNC.
Yeah, with that Courier kill, they bring back the gold lead just a bit more. You know, it's a bit closer now. Only 1K at 9.5 minutes. Respectable.
I mean, if they can get some room for the Showercopter. And my thought process is if this Timbersaw can start doing some serious work on this map, it could be a big turnaround for TNC, and Raven is in a good position to do so.
Yeah, he's approaching that point where he can just tank the creep wave plus the tower and sit there and eventually bring it down. The slow burn, the 15 damage, right clicks on the tower over and over. Also went for the hood, so he's tanky.
Pasha did a good job. He cut the wave, I believe, and just burrow struck it and caustic finality, and that means there's no wave to push into the tier 1 of the top lane. In the meantime, mid lane, Armel will get Spirit Sight from the Exorcism. The Torrent actually misses, but Armel's still in trouble. He's got the call down. He doesn't use it. The last Crypt Swarm coming in a moment. They don't even need it as Pasha walks right on in, helps get the claw, but it's the Exorcism that does the job for No One. And now this will transition maybe into the tier 1, but the wave is pushed in at their own tier 1. So maybe not.
Man, it's so hard for TNC to make a move. Right? Like, how can they start an engagement? When you look at the heroes, you think, oh, well, they have Gyrocopter. This hero rotates around the map, it makes things happen, smoke plays and everything, but when he's in the mid lane, it's a whole different role, right? You're laning up against this Death Prophet. If you rotate around, you lose your tower to the Exorcism. Sam
H is Vendetta. He is stalking No One. The Exorcism is done, but he misses the Impale.
Oh, no.
And that is a big critical gank avoided by No One. He's able to get out of trouble.
It's how they make plays, and now they have to wait for that Vendetta cooldown before they can attempt again.
They have all of these deep wards for TNC. They had another one at the jungle, but I think it just went away, and they can't really use them. The vision is not going to be really helpful. They have actually 2 wards in the same area in the mid lane, too. TNC, with all this vision, they can't really accomplish anything with it. And that gank is pretty significant. It's really good for knowing that he avoided it. The Exorcism was done. He's able to continue farming instead of losing gold and not being able to get that quick Yule Scepter. And, again, it's still just Ramses farming up. Raven is the big target. They're going to roll in onto Ramses. He's going to go for the Rage TP, and they cannot find this kill. They didn't have the lockdown that they needed to secure it. The Sam H Nyx Assassin was not there for the Impale follow-up.
Yep, unable to find the kill. And they had a lane ward, so that means he knew. Right, that Rage is fast.
Solo's in trouble. The silence came in nicely done, but he still has the glimpse. He will try to get it off, but it doesn't really send Raven that far. And now they can pressure this tower. And that's at least one thing TNC can do.
Yeah, but look what's happening on the other side of the map. VP already playing in both these lanes. They pushed out the mid, hit the tower a little bit. Now they're cutting the wave up top too. Good response to the 5-man, well, I guess 4-man from TNC, but you know, that wasn't a smoke, so they weren't able to find the kill. Right? If they kill Ramses, he's not going to rage TP up to the top lane and do the exact same thing they're doing. And they would get much more out of it.
Pale, Roger, it's just a support, but if they can find the kill, maybe start things off, go for more. No one is in Viz. He's got extra back up in 6 seconds. The Glimpse will come back in the epicenter getting channeled. They've got the Static Storm. Armel's in trouble. The Burns are coming up. There's the Veil. The Crypt Storm. Armel will fall. Big pickup for Virtus.pro. The Courier coming over as well, but Cuckoo now trying to fight. He'll drop that Aegis Attendance, but there are 3 heroes here for Virtus.pro, but he's still running in. I'm not sure what he wants to do for TNC. Raven is there. They want to try to find something. Raja will be the target. Not really the best kill for TNC, but it's a kill nonetheless, and they will find it for Raven, which gets him even more farm, and he is the one hero that is having an amazing game for TNC.
That was pretty crazy. Cuckoo, level 4 Enchantress, running head first into 3 heroes. VP freak out. They're like, good God, what's going on?
What's he doing here?
This makes no sense. And of course, they just use their abilities, so they're not going to blindly chase this hero for another 5 seconds till Throw Strike comes back up. So they walk away, and Roger thinks, all right, well, I can get the flank here. I can come back in, get some heroes, the X-Mark Torrent. But, yeah, well played from TNC.
And they get those extra wards down in the jungle, those deep wards to help the next assassin find those ganks. But now you have to worry about Virtus.pro's timing. The armlet is done for Ramses. The Blink Dagger now picked up on Pasha in just a moment, and that's the vehicle. Meanwhile, down bottom, the Impale comes out. Solo in trouble, the Hurl Boulder, and he will fall again. Solo getting dropped down, and Raven finds a second kill on the Raja. Both supports going down, and now they'll pressure the Tier 1 tower. They have 2 Mud Golems. They've got a creep wave here. This Tier 2 can fall quickly if Virtus.pro aren't careful.
TNC found the gas button. It's go time.
It is, and it's all based on Raven. It has to be.
Yep. Timbersaw has hit that, I don't want to say his peak, because he still continues to get stronger into the game, but this is that moment where he is very, very difficult to take down, and he can just push out these lanes without a care in the world and set up some of these plays. You know, he's got no stuns or anything, no slows, but he puts your heroes in a position where you can find those movements.
Yes, and that's what they need to play around for TNC. By the way, they did TP in Pasha down bottom. Pasha was immediately pinged, and he's walking over a ward now. You would have to assume they know that he's got a Blink Dagger. They continue to ping on him with Armel, the Gyrocopter, doing it. So Pasha's Blink Dagger has been revealed one way or the other.
That's
he had the Life Stealer inside of him, too.
That's supposed to be the big surprise play.
Yeah, and that's avoided by TNC. But that is the issue for TNC. If they jump on Raven with this Infest gank, the Burrow Strike, the Veil, the Infest Bomb, no one's Crypt Swarm, it'll be enough damage to bring Raven down, and that's all that net worth gone. But TNC, they're in the jungle with Cuckoo. He is here alone. He's getting more vision down. He's just trying to get anything he can done. He's got his phase boots now. Ramses was trying to chase after him, but he will only find the Mud Golem instead, and now the Shard Golems to follow up.
P just sitting together as 5 while TNC play the rest of the map, farming everything, pushing these lanes out. That's the beauty of vision, Mots. Helps you do that. You don't have vision, you're scared. You're gonna hug each other. Use the buddy system. Yeah. And when you see them, you can just split up and farm the entire map.
It's all about the buddy system right now. They do TP up Roger in the top lane, maybe trying to set up something on this Gyrocopter while they push mid. No one has the Exorcism backup, but here's Raven. And they creep army from Enchantress is also there to help out as well. Ramses now has a Yasha to work with along with the Armlet. They're going to pop the Exorcism, and I'm not sure you want to fight into this as TNC. You might just lose this tower.
Yeah, I think at this point, the tower's so low, just give it up. It's time to go farm.
Maybe they can make something happen now. The Exorcism will be down in a couple of moments, but...
Yep.
I think they're waiting for a smoke, potentially. Yeah, there they go. TNC, they've got the smoke. This is go time. Armel is down bottom. The ADs are getting channeled. Pasha looking for a solo kill. The Veil will be dropped down. The Sandstorm is there. Armel getting low. He does get the call down. I don't think they have the damage to get this kill. And Armel will escape. He doesn't have a TP, but now down mid, they found Raj, the Rolling Boulder, the Timber Chain there. Since our Conqueror can't find the stop, maybe now it can. He will. It will be a dead Roger. Raven picks up the kill, and Armel's still running, and Pasha was able to find him and track him down and get that kill. Wow. That is huge for Virtus.pro to find that pick off.
Jara has a lot of health, but I guess it just doesn't matter when he has no TP to escape. He gets stunned twice and dies. Very nice.
The TP, the lack thereof, rather, for Armel was the significant problem. He could have gotten out. Meanwhile, Raven getting chewed up by Ramses in the top lane. Raven needs to be a little careful. This Lifestealer starting to do some work, but they're surrounding him. There's the Vendetta Impale. They've got the Nyx Assassin Mana Burn first, and they blow Ramses away. Now dead for 45. The rest of the heroes have TP'd top, but it looks like they're backing up, realizing, okay, maybe we can't fight this. There's the 3 Centaur Conqueror train for Cuckoo. Look at this, man. He's got the Enchantress Centaur Conqueror train. He's just going to be able to try to find the triple stomp, but that's easier said than done, especially when he loses his 1 Centaur in 5 seconds.
He's got the whole family.
Yeah, seriously. They're twins.
Usually it's so difficult.
Oh, he misses the first. Pasha coming in. They've got the Spirit Siphon. Cuckoo in trouble. And he's going to get glimpsed back. Poor Cuckoo. He had the Centaur Conqueror train, but it's just going to get cleared up. Sam H gets Ghost Ship, but he had the Spike Carapace up in time. Spirit Siphon still going. They had the Blink Burrow for Pasha. The Centaur Conqueror Stomp will not keep him alive. It's going to be a 2-for-1 trade, as of course Ramses did die earlier, but Cuckoo getting rather aggressive, and he pays with his life for it.
Yep. Oh, man. These deaths just in the jungle for TNC really just... Once that sort of thing happens, they lose so much momentum. Right now, there's no longer that threat of the Nyx Assassin running around on the map. Excuse me. Usually it's pretty difficult to take down Lifestealer, but...
well, they've got the Silence and the Stun now. They've got the Magnetize. They've got the Centaur Conqueror Stomp, and they've got Raven getting the kill. The TP coming in for Pasha. He needs to be careful. He's got the Blink Dagger. They drop the Stone down, but they don't want to go any further under the Tier 1 tower.
That's back-to-back deaths for Ramses. You think Lifestealer difficult to take down, but with the Earth Spirit Suns, with the Nyx Assassin Impale from the Invis, right? Not going to be able to rage that.
It's almost one of those situations where you're like, maybe I should build Manta. Obviously, you don't want to do that, and you have an SNY on the Ramses Lifestealer coming soon, but...
sometimes we do see that, especially against a lot of the Orchid buyers like Furion.
Yeah, I don't think it's as big of a deal this game. It's just Earth Spirit. You just have to avoid Tims, essentially.
Yep.
And the SNY will also make him tanky and more capable of surviving. Meanwhile, bottom lane, they found a double burrow strike from Pasha as he's getting chased down by Sam H. The Spike Carapace somehow doesn't actually tick onto Pasha, and he's able to blink away. That was a beautiful blink timing from him, and it might secure his retreat. They're chasing him down, but Pasha's already back to the Tier 2 tower. He's going for the TP, and Sam H, I think they don't have the vision to see him. They did. It was just a second too late, and he wasn't able to find the Impale.
Yep, Pasha just making space. And look at this. It's Roshan time. They've got the Medallion with the level 2 Death Prophet ultimate.
I think you were mentioning earlier that you liked this build. It was you or Webus, I'm not sure who.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of this Solar Crest build on Death Prophet.
It's good for the early Roche taking. Yep. And that's what we're seeing now. And TNC are coming in smoked up, though. They've got the call down, they've got the flat cannon, they've got Tims with the Magnetize up at 12, but not quite yet. The Infest comes into the Hellbear. He's going to infest that. Roche is low. The Bash comes in. Now they've got the Epicenter. No one will grab the Aegis, and this is trouble for TNC, but Ramses trying to run and looking for Cuckoo. It's going to be a 1-for-1 trade. Roger will buy that. Ramses gets ensnared. The Impale coming in the statics from no one, though. The Spirit Siphon for the Exorcism coming back into the perfect time, and now they've got the Burrow trick. They've found Armel, and Raven might be next. The Ghost Ship comes in. Roger with that buyback. They've got the Silence. He's able to Timber Chain away. Ramses is looking for more. He's got the Armlet Toggle. The Chakram will come out. The Timber Chain, the Torrent misses, but Raven in trouble. And Pasha gets off the Burrow Strike. The Creep Swarm. It's 4 dead. No one looking for more. They both find all 5. Pasha's out of mana, but I don't think they really need it. The X-Marks is going to bring him back in. The Torrent is there, and it's going to be a double kill for no one. Virtus.pro, not only do they take Roshan, but they get the best fight of the game so far, Brax.
That timing on when the Spirits came back to Death Prophet was so good.
Yeah.
Happened to heal him all the way back up to full HP. All of a sudden, all this effort you put into taking away DP's age is just gone.
Gold for my chest.
That was critical for Virtus.pro. What a well fought out fight. And we'll see it again here. I mean, they roll in. I thought they're going to go for it. They actually get the Infest off in time from Ramses. They blow up the Hellbear Smasher, who could have came in.
There's just
did
no
a thunderclap.
way in, you know? They're too far away. They can't actually walk into the pit because the Exorcism's still going off. Earth Spirit's just unable to get in there.
Look at that heal. That's unbelievable timing for no one.
Yep.
That's incredible.
And you know, as nice as it looked, it wasn't really a difference maker in the fight. Just a nice thing to save the Aegis, right?
Exactly, yeah. It would have been a nice little kill for TNC, but it wouldn't have given them anything other than the Aegis down.
Exactly.
But
we've reached a point with TNC's lineup where, yeah, Raven's pretty strong, pretty tanky, high level as well. But where's the follow-up damage, right? We've got the off-lane Nyx Assassin, who's entirely a utility hero with the stun and mana burn and scouting with the vision and everything.
Yeah.
Not the highest damage hero. Enchantress from a support position with this level of farm, not a whole lot of damage. Earth Spirit, the same thing. And then Gyro typically does a lot of damage, but with this level of farm, it's just not there.
Meanwhile, both teams moving together. TNC smoked, looking for something, but it's going to be Virtus.pro that are moving in with the Exorcism in the mid lane, trying to take down the tier 2 tower. TNC doesn't look like they're going to find anything. They might come all the way around to the mid lane, but they're backing up. They might want to make the call to split push bottom. They're trying to decide what they want to do. They might just let this tower go. This tier 2 is pretty much already dead at this point. I think the glyph was already used. It was.
They might just want to sit around and fight once Exorcism runs out.
Here comes the Wrath. Six Assassins there. They've got the Centaur. Pasha has the Lifestealer inside of him. No one's there. Blink from Pasha. They find the Burrow Strike. They find the Infest out. Cuckoo's already dead. Chakram comes in. This looks to be a bad fight for Raven. And Virtus.pro is actually doing some serious work. Good impale on the 2, but now Raven is in trouble. Static Storm, Ghost Ship. He'll be dropped down. TNC have lost 2. They might lose a 3rd as Samage gets silenced up. The Burrow Strike is there. Virtus.pro playing as 5, another 3 kills along with the tier 2 tower and maybe more. Yes, they don't have Exorcism, but forcing out a Raven buyback could be game ending here for TNC if you're not careful.
That was also an Arcane Rune Death Prophet ultimate.
Epicenter getting channeled. They've got the ward on Tim's, the vision, plenty of damage. The Torrent follow up from Roger. It's a 7k lead for Virtus.pro, and now the tier 3 under siege with no glyph available. All of a sudden, Frax, Virtus.pro are on the edge of taking this game, getting into the playoffs for the Bucharest Major.
I'm just not saying it a lot. There's no way for them to take a fight on their terms. There's no way for them to set it up.
Out, and that is going to be a dead Armel. Dead for 55. This is not looking to be the Gyrocopter Rapier game we are so used to seeing in this tournament. Kinetic field onto Cuckoo. They want to bring him down, but more importantly, they want to bring the buildings down. Ramses is going to work with the SMY. The Impale on Mana Burn will come. The Burrow Strike follow from Pasha is there to start things off in the fight. The Crypt Swarm, they've got the X-Mark back. They got the Torrent. That should be enough damage to secure the kill, and it will be. They get the melee racks, and Virtus.pro know that they don't want to take too much, so they will back themselves up to safety, and they will all TP home or to the jungle.
Very conservative, very well-structured and disciplined gameplay from VP, not going for the melee racks after that, even though they had the Death Prophet ultimate. You know, it's better just to reset, go back, get these lanes out. We've already built a big enough advantage. We can just play our game and we'll probably win. I mean, they have so much water.
You don't want to forget about the comeback that Optic had against Virtus.pro in the first day of action.
Yeah.
The difference there is that the Gyrocopter for Pycat in that game,
he was super fun.
He was jacked, and it wasn't a Timbersaw. It was a hero that could actually do physical damage once he got the Rapier. But there's just no way that Gyrocopter's getting a Rapier anytime soon. He needs a BKB first. Maybe he gets Rapier after that, but even if he gets it, it's not going to be enough damage, I think.
Yeah,
it just feels like they're so far down.
Even when he has BKB, if he gets Blink Sanking Stone from Fog and he's unable to get BKB off, it's just, he's going to die.
Yeah.
You know, it's the Lifestealer inside of him. It's just, he needs so many items to deal with VP's lineup. And I don't see a way for them to get there. Aegis is out, so that is one potential opening.
I mean, no one is building into an Neon Disc.
Yeah.
And I don't think you could kill them when that happens. They already have little damage, as we've discussed earlier, but they're going to have even more to deal with now once that Neon Disc is up. They will get the Courier with Sam H, which is a nice little pickup, some extra gold to go your way. It's now a 9k lead instead of a 10k lead, but you're losing all of your towers. There's a tier 2 top, but the tier 2 and the tier 1 bottom are going to die.
Yep, and TNC are going to be forced to take a fight on their high ground. They need to defend. There's no way they can afford to give this up and just try to get farming. Yeah, Raven's farmed. Armel needs a few more items so we can actually deal some damage, and I guess they have some basic items on their supports. We've got a Force Staff.
The center getting channeled, the jump in, and there's the Blink Burrow Strike combination, and Cuckoo explodes the magic damage. Static Storm. They will have the Ghost Ship and the X-Marks coming back, which means Raven's in trouble. He can't really afford to die. He's getting low. The Eul Scepter will keep him up for now. The Spirit Siphon's still going with the Exorcism. There's a great Burrow Strike from Pasha, and he's dead. But only for 16, as I believe he has the Bloodstone to work with. So it's not that bad, but they've already lost so much in this engagement. Sam H will get silenced up and chewed down by Ramses, who open wounds and steals all the life away from him. It's an 11k lead for Virtus.pro. They want to continue on. They want to pressure the tier 3 tower. It is backdoor protected, though. Good news for TNC, and no one getting a little bit low, but they cannot chase him down as Virtus.pro play together on the opposite high ground.
Yeah, Exorcism's out. And that's that.
They just get so much more, though. Virtus.pro are...
Yeah, they do.
Every fight, they get more out of it.
A buyback on the Enchantress as well. A ton of Bloodstone charges being cleared out of Timbersaw's inventory. I mean, just look at the fights, right? What actually can they do to make something happen in these team fights? It doesn't feel like there's anything.
Not really much, if anything at all, yeah.
Virtus.pro walk up with Death Prophet. If any hero comes too close, then there's just the epicenter potential. Saw the solo kill. And then Lifesteal walks up and attacks the base too. There's just not a whole lot of response.
It all comes down to this try line, I feel like, for TNC at the beginning of the game. They didn't get too much accomplished.
Yep.
Raven had a very good lane, but he is not able to carry this game on the Timber Saw, at least not yet. They've got to get more. This BKB for Armel, like you mentioned, it might not even do that much, but at least he will have it here in the near future, as Virtus.pro's Pasha is going to deny him that with a nullifier coming out, but it'll take a while for him to get there at the very least.
Okay. Pretty good nullifier carrier. Blink stun into the nullifier, and a good way to apply it, especially with the Lifestealer bomb.
Yeah, it's gonna...
Usually we see it on Lifestealer, but Pasha's so farmed on a sync that he can afford to start working on it.
They'll get there eventually if the game goes long enough. And I think it's a good item choice because it just feels like the game winner.
Yeah.
You know, the game-winning item. They don't need it necessarily this game, but it's the item that will close out the game for them if it gets into that late game situation again for Virtus.pro.
It's just such a high-impact item, right?
There's one tier 2 tower left in the top lane, and it is low. And with a couple of auto attacks, no one will finish it off. The Radiant Courier will respawn. The Gyrocopter has picked up his BKB, and if they want to fight, they're going to have to do it at their high ground. TNC are grouped up together in the enemy jungle, trying to keep the waves pushed in, so that forces Solo back. And maybe they can find Pasha, who actually has the epicenter roll, and they have a Radiant Ward. They've got the Burrow Strike, and they blow up the next assassin. And I mean blow up.
Oh yeah, big time blow up.
Squashed. And the Aeon just now done for no one. They're looking for more. They thought there were heroes TPing in the jungle, but they've already backed up for TNC back to their base or on the opposite side of the river.
Yep, now it's just a matter of VP getting their lanes out in a way that TNC can't just avoid them. They've taken all the outer towers, picked up all that extra free gold. No one's about to complete his item. Yep, there it is.
I suppose theoretically Virtus.pro could wait for Roshan. It's only 30 seconds away. They don't know that, obviously, but...
Yeah, they definitely could.
And I'm not sure TNC can afford giving up Asian cheese. Not that I don't think they can do anything about it.
Yeah, TNC are already struggling to take fights inside their base, outside of the base, where VP can ward up and take control over that area. It's just going to be even harder for them to take that fight, so just not worth it. They have to sit in base and attempt to fight into the Aegis and cheese.
I mean, Raven's going to have one heck of a fight in order to be able to win one, or even get something going wildly in TNC's favor.
They know.
They have the Centaur Conqueror trying to scout things out, and no one will take it down with the Solar Crest and one more auto attack. Ooh, actually gets close, 18 HP, not that it really matters. The Exorcism will be popped. It is only level 2 Exorcism, as he's only level 17. But again, I don't really think TNC can get there. There's just no way. It's already getting low on Roshan.
Yeah, it's dying so fast. It doesn't even matter.
So Virtus.pro will more than likely wait for the next Exorcism cooldown. They'll keep the waves pushed out, and it's checklist Dota at this point for Virtus.pro.
That's right. Patience is the name of the game. Do we have our buttons? No? Alright, we're not going then.
TNC with an aggressive smoke maneuver.
Yep,
maybe they can get something out of this. Ramses is not really the target they want to go for.
He's such a hard hero to go for, right?
He has Aegis, so...
Yep. If they go for him and VP's around...
Roger now spots Cuckoo. They get off the Impale, though. The Chakra will come through, but he's rather tanky. The Rage gets off the time. There's the open moves. And the Ghost Ship say goodbye to Cuckoo. The Epicenter getting channeled. The Veil drops down now. That'll be a double kill. His damage will fall. Again, the Bug getting squashed once more. Armel popped the BKB to no avail. The Eul Scepter back onto Raven. The Static Storm goes, but he's out of it, actually. He Eul's himself up. He was out of the kinetic field, at least for the moment. The Burrow Strike is there. The Torrent. And Ramses' auto attack damage with the Spirit Siphon is more than enough to get the kill. He's dead for 38. He has no buyback, and Virtus.pro will march straight down mid and head to top right after.
Yep. At least TNC attempted to make a play before the Exorcism came up. They knew it was their best shot. We need to make something happen now, or else Deep here just going to wait for their cooldowns and run down mid. That's why that Centaur Conqueror scouting the road champ hit was nice, because it scouted that Death Prophet use the ultimate. But they're just way too far behind to even put up a competitive fight.
It's too big a disadvantage, and it'll only get harder now that the Sand King has picked up the Nullifier. The Gyrocopter's BKB is on cooldown anyway for another 20 seconds. They don't really need to use it on him if they want to. If Cuckoo even walks out, he might just die to Ramses with one auto attack.
Yeah.
It's actually the most frightening thing in the world.
You know, it's one of those situations, Ma, where, yeah, it's probably a bad fight, but if we don't take it now, it's going to be even worse in a minute and a half when Exorcism comes up, right?
Exactly. And Exorcism will be up in now 25 seconds, so he also has cheese to work with. They'll take the shrines. And it was, I think a lot of people especially Virtus.pro fans, were concerned. They go down 0-1 to Optic. It was a very close game, but Virtus.pro have looked amazing since then. They've won every one of their games. They're about to win this one. They're up 20K, and short of a monumental collapse or a gigantic comeback for TNC, all they really need to do is just be patient and get the rest of the buildings taken care of for Virtus.pro.
Yep. Go down the checklist.
There's a good work to spot out no one, but he seems to be aware of something. They've got Solo behind him. Armel, Solo, that is a dead disruptor. A nice pick. The silence comes out too little too late. That might slow things down for Virtus.pro, so some extra time for TNC to get maybe a fight set up as they're looking for Ramses and Pasha, who is invisible. Blink Burrow onto two. The Nullifier is about to come out there. Armel just has to run. He can't fight without his BKB, and the rest of his team will do the same. The root onto Tim's from the Ancient Prowler Shaman, but he will be able to roll away with the Rolling Boulder. On the other side of the fight, they've got Nyx Assassin locked down. The Ghost Ship came in. Nullifier is there. That is a dead hero.
That pesky Ancient Prowler Shaman.
Yeah, that Prowler Shaman almost brought Tim down.
I feel like you just like to say Ancient Prowler Shaman.
Me?
Yeah.
Yeah, I do. People don't know what it's called. It's been in the game for a bit, but they don't know what it's called.
It's good to know what it's called.
Yeah.
I can appreciate it.
Armel X marks about to be torrented. His BKB is up. He will use it. The epicenter comes out in time, but not before Armel is able to get the BKB off. So he'll try to fight with call down. No one will get the Aeon Disc pop. There's the silence. Good stun onto 3. The Magnetize, the Impale. As the 8 is gone. The burst right there. They've lost no one. This is so far a good fight, and now they're going to find Pasha, who's dead for 73 as well. Ramses is going to work on the buildings. He knows he just needs to get this racked, and at the very least, that'll give them some more to work with. He will back himself up. They have the Boulder Smash coming in. Raven is there. He's got a triple kill. He's about to get an Ultra. They won't give it to him. Instead, they will give it to Sam H, who gets the Wicked 6 free, but the damage has been done. They've lost the mid racks. They've lost the melee racks at the top lane. They only really have 2 buildings left before the tier 4s. So,
Good God. That Earth Spirit stun was so good.
yeah, that was nice.
Clipped 3 of them, especially after the Aeon Disc. You know,
Well, check it out. I mean,
here we go.
this is the best you could get.
It looked really awkward with that BKB coming out, right? But then TNC managed to bait VP in. Look at this big Earth Spirit stun.
It was a great silence. Ramses was ready to go, but he actually got low from the flat cannon call down combination. And then at that point, no one, of course, just gets dropped. Ramses' Aegis is gone. He can only really work on the racks. He did get the melee racks. If they only lose a tier 3 for that, that's a lot better for TNC. At the end of the day, though, it was still like a 6,000 net worth swing, I think, when it was all said and done.
Exactly. With that extra gold, they can make these team fights a bit closer. It is VP focusing down the buildings, but that team fight was very well executed from TNC. They managed to get the triple stun with the Boulder Smash, and then the triple Impale on top of it afterwards.
Pasha's going to walk into the rest of TNC that has spotted him out with an Observer Ward. He is dead for 72. He has no buyback. The gem is now on the side of TNC. The flat cannon will clear out the creep wave. They want the tier 2 tower. And so now you're fighting 4 versus 5 for another 60 seconds, excuse me.
Look what's in our helicopter man's inventory.
I think I have an understanding. I think I know without having to click it, but we'll click it just in case and show you that it is in fact the Divine Rapier, which he's about 1,000 gold away from.
Yeah, if they can get that Rapier, that's step 1 to the comeback,
is
right?
I don't know. I thought this game was just done. They're down to a full set of racks, and a full set and a half of racks, in fact.
They are down a shit ton. It's only 9,000 gold, but their base is gone.
Yeah, the gold is not as much as it was yesterday with BTJ Thunder versus TNC. The patch of the comeback, the patch of the Gyrocopter Rapier, potentially, maybe again. Maybe he needs 2, maybe he needs 3 like Freeze did yesterday. The question is, will he get to that point? And the answer is probably not. But if he gets to the Rapier, who knows what can happen. Damage will come out. He has an SMY to work with, so he already has at least okay damage.
Yeah. VP have some good tools at dealing with the Rapier.
He has the Rapier. He has the Rapier now. Yeah, he wanted buyback. Okay, this is where the Nullifier comes into play that we were talking about, though.
Yep. Sand King with the Nullifier and the Infest from Ramses' Lifestealer. If that happens, he's going to melt. There's no defensive abilities or capabilities. There's a Force Staff, but I don't think it's going to be enough to actually save Gyrocopter.
Yeah,
so he's got to be extremely careful and far back in these fights before he comes into it.
Even with BKB, Gyrocopter may have flat cannon, but he is also a glass cannon.
Yes,
no
Satanic.
At the early stages of the game.
That's usually the big thing, right? The Satanic, once Gyrocopter has those Rapiers. He gets gone on, lives with a sliver of health, manages to turn it. So he's got a little ways to go. Building into that Lincoln Sphere will help him deal with the Sand King initiation.
Well, this might be it for TNC. It's do or die now, as it looks like Virtus.pro are grouping together in the top lane. Again, that Nullifier is ready for Pasha. The Empty Infest Bomb into the Sand King. Blink Force, which travels well, makes him pretty speedy for Pasha. That's the initiation they're looking for. Armel's job is to not get nullified, essentially, and that is easier said than done.
Look at how far back he's sitting. He knows that just looking.
Blink Burrow, they found him, but Armel pops the BKB in time. The flat cannon going. They've already dropped Cuckoo. I don't think they're really that worried. No one did use his Aeon-Disc. They're trying to find more. The Exorcism will go. No one pops his own BKB, but Armel's BKB is done, and now you need to consider backing. Trying to bait up the Exorcism. If you lose the range racks top, it's not that big of a deal, but losing Mega's bottom might be the significant portion.
Yes, they might want to just forfeit this fight and go back down to bottom lane to defend that so they can try to play again when Gyro has his BKB up. If they die here, this could be game.
Sam H. Armel's trying to do some work here. The rolling boulder in from Tim's. There's 2 dead. Sam H with no buyback. The Ghost Ship coming through as well. Actually misses. The Gems on the deck. Virtus.pro should back up together as a team and stay safe, and I think they'll do just that for now. Ramsey's actually going back in with no one. No one will heal up momentarily as the Ghost comes back to him. Armel, the Burrow Strike coming through. They found Raven. This could be a big kill, the Nullifier, but he's able to get the Timber Chain away to call down. They've got the static from the X-Mark back, and Raven is dead. No buyback. He's down for 42. It's not that long of a time, but when you're losing your base, feels like ages. They have lost Megas at this point, and now they're going to find Cuckoo yet again. Virtus.pro, they've taken 3. Armel, I don't care if you've got the Tower Top to Rapier. I don't think it's going to be enough. He gets nullified. He's getting run at by Ramses. It's a double kill, and it's all about to be 5 dead, and TNC will GG. They've lost 2 in a row, and Virtus.pro make their way into the playoffs, Brax.
Even with the Rapier, still can't fight them. I need those other items that we've seen in the other previous games, like the Satanic, Butterfly, even Ice Scotty and some of them.